Well, as a small biotech, I think the biggest opportunity for us is just to continue to network and create awareness again of the company, and more specifically, create awareness of Vidofludimus calcium.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Immunic President and Chief Operating Officer, Jason Tardio. Jason, very good to speak with you. Immunic has a big presence at ECTRIMS this year with one oral and 4 poster presentations, including a late-breaking poster and your own booth. How would you describe the evolution of Immunic's presence at this conference over the years?
ECTRIMS, which stands for the European Committee for Treatment and Research in Multiple Sclerosis, is the largest multiple sclerosis specific medical conference. It brings together over 10,000 clinicians, researchers, and healthcare professionals from across the world every year to discuss the latest advancements in multiple sclerosis, to discuss the latest data, to network and to engage as we all seek to find new therapeutic advancements for this respective disease. And so this is a conference that is vitally important to the work that we're doing here at Immunic Therapeutics. I would say in terms of the evolution of the company, we've always had a bit of a presence at the meeting over the years, largely specific to some data dissemination. I would say beginning last year, we began to really expand our presence. It was the first year we had an exhibition booth. And of course, we're going to also have an exhibition booth this year, in addition to, again, as you've mentioned, 1 oral and 4 additional poster presentations. So the overarching goal from an Immunic perspective is to create awareness of the company, create awareness of Vidofludimus calcium, our late-stage asset in development for multiple sclerosis, but to also, of course, network and engage with the broader MS community.
Well, as President and COO of Immunic, what are you personally most looking forward to at this year's ECTRIMS Congress? What do you think will be the major topic at the conference?
Well, I think we have very exciting data that will be presented specific to our phase 2 CALLIPER study in progressive multiple sclerosis. And when I think about unique and contemporary data that will be delivered at the conference, I'd like to think that our data will certainly be towards the top there in terms of overall excitement and engagement. This is a data set looking at the utility of Vidofludimus calcium 45 milligrams compared to placebo in nearly 475 patients with both non-active secondary progressive multiple sclerosis and primary progressive multiple sclerosis as well. And so this is a subset of the multiple sclerosis population that continues to have high unmet need. We showed very, very strong signals at reduction in confirmed disability worsening. We showed some strong signals on MRI outcomes. And of course, the medicine is also and continues to be very safe and very well tolerated in this population. So beyond our data set, I think that there are other themes that will continue to evolve at this meeting. This notion of addressing what's called PIRA, or progression that's independent of relapse activity, is always a theme that I think is picking up some momentum over the years. We know that MS is a disease of both neuroinflammation and neurodegeneration. There's lots of medicines to address the neuroinflammatory cascade of the disease, but very little options to address neurodegeneration. And so PIRA is directly linked towards accumulation of disability specific to non-inflammatory aspects of the disease. And so this continues to be, I think, an important topic, and a topic that we think we address, and a component that we think we address with our therapy, Vidofludimus calcium.
As you mentioned, Jason, ECTRIMS brings together researchers, clinicians, and industry representatives from all over the world. What do you see as the biggest opportunity for Immunic in connecting with the MS community during the conference?
Well, as a small biotech, I think the biggest opportunity for us is just to continue to network and create awareness again of the company, and more specifically, create awareness of Vidofludimus calcium. We aren't a legacy multiple sclerosis company with the likes of Novartis or Sanofi or Biogen, et cetera. And so we are still an emerging biotech. And so what's most important from my perspective, and the greatest opportunity for the respective conference, is that we just engage with, meet, and have the opportunity to have a conversation with as many individuals within the MS community. And this includes not only treating clinicians and researchers, but also the patient advocacy organizations and others. Again, the goal here is to shout from the high hills, if you will, as far and as wide as we can about Immunic Therapeutics and about the wonderful work that we're doing with Vidofludimus calcium.
I mean, just touching on some of your recent news, you've just been granted your 5th US patent for Vidofludimus calcium, specifically dedicated to MS, and offering IP protection for the drug right up until 2041. How important is this milestone for the company?
Intellectual property protection is very, very important to the work that we do. And over the years, we've put together a multi-layered approach to IP protection. This latest news just further reinforces, I think, the strength of our total IP portfolio. And it covers dosage strengths from 10 up to 45 milligrams, but specifically looking at the utility of Vidofludimus calcium in progressive multiple sclerosis. Again, we believe our total patent portfolio and IP protection portfolio is quite strong. It's multi-layered, and we think at a minimum, it's going to provide strong protection out to the year 2041.
Looking beyond ECTRIMS, what are the next key milestones Immunic's preparing for?
Well, I think for this particular year, we'll have end of phase 2 engagements with the regulatory authorities, both the FDA and EMA, specific to the CALLIPER data that we recently reported this past April. As we get into next year, it's really about the continued execution of the ongoing ENSURE program, our phase 3 program in relapsing multiple sclerosis, with clearly a key eye on the top line data readout for those two twin identical studies, both ENSURE and ENSURE-1 and ENSURE-2, that is scheduled for Q4 of 2026.
Jason, I hope you enjoy the conference this week. I'm sure we'll be chatting to you again soon.
Great. Thank you so much.
Immunic President and Chief Operating Officer Jason Tardio.